What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all are doing well. Look, I know it's been a minute, but Happy New Year. Hopefully y'all had a good holiday and a good start to this year, especially as we just kick things off. Look, I know I'm a little behind. I've been like taking a break, but now my goal this year is to be more consistent on here on YouTube and just dropping more reviews and more secret content overall. So that's what I'm going to be doing for y'all. And of course, just because I haven't been posting doesn't mean I haven't been buying shoes. So I'm like backed up on reviews from like the last month. So I'm going to be dropping those over the course of the next couple of days. And of course, getting ready to gear up for everything that's set to drop this year. Of course, like I mentioned in past videos, it's a lot of stuff dropping this year. So, you know, we got to get ready for it. I'll probably end up doing a video at some point and try to be like consistent every month with dropping with what's expected to drop every month. So at some point in January, I'll work on that. Because I think we have shoes dropping next week just to start off the month. So it's going to be crazy. But today, for y'all, I am going to start off with a shoe that we've waited all year for, and that is the Holiday Jordan 11. And of course, the shoe that dropped this past December was the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. So going to be going over a review over this shoe. Now, this shoe is very interesting. There's a lot of history behind it. Now, these originally dropped back in 1996, and Michael Jordan wore them in the 1996 All-Star Game, which I will post a picture of y'all for y'all to see. And then they resurfaced again back in 2001. Now, this shoe also has had multiple names. When it first dropped, it was the Air Jordan 11 Columbia. Now, they have had some slight differences over the drops that have happened over the past couple of years. But yeah, like I mentioned, they first dropped as the Air Jordan 11 Columbias. And then I believe in 2014, they changed the name to the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue, which is what we have now. But I think depending on who you're talking to, you may get different names. Some people may say they're different. Some people may just interchange the name. Like I mentioned, they do have some slight differences between the two. But as of now, we have the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. Look, the name really doesn't bother me. It's a nice shoe, so it's just cool to see that it has the history behind it. But like I mentioned, it's dropped 4 different times now, so you've had plenty of opportunities kind of like along the way if you've wanted to get this shoe. But I was finally able to get my hands on the shoe now, as I wasn't into shoes back in 2014 when they last dropped. So it is what it is. Now, these did release everywhere, literally. Like, if you wanted a pair, as y'all know with the Holiday 11s, you put in the footwork, you can get a pair. And even like today when I'm recording, like today is the 2nd, and they had 11s dropping today. So if you're still interested in a pair, just keep your eyes out. Check your local stores, check like local sites as well. They're still dropping pairs on sites, so you just have to kind of keep your eyes aware of what all is going on. So jumping into the box, and of course we have a different box than what originally dropped back in 96, but we do have the regular Jordan 11 box of what we have now, which is that black lid, that red Jordan Jumpman logo, and then Jordan written out in white on top. The lid, of course, is removable, so you do see that there. And then going to the inside, you do have that paper, kind of checker pattern paper on here, which we do see on the shoe on that carbon fiber plate. I'll show you when we get there. And then continuing on to the rest of the box, there is a YDM sticker in here, but all white on the rest of the box. Now going to the label reads Air Jordan 11 Retro White Legend Blue and Black, and this is a size 11.5 inch, which is my personal size. Now I will say one thing with the box. Back in 2014, I believe they had the slide out box with these, which was actually really cool. They had some nice touches on that box. I would have loved to have seen a slide out box with these instead of the normal just pull the lid off box, but maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments if you copped the pair back in 2014 and you prefer the slide out box compared to these. I feel like we haven't seen a slide out box for a Jordan in a minute, but you know, that's just my thought process on it. But jumping into the shoe, once again, this is the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. Give y'all a quick 360 on these. Now look, I hope y'all were able to cop a pair if you were interested in them. It's a pretty nice Jordan 11, all white pretty much, so not too much like to talk about with the shoe, but at the same time it's still just a nice shoe overall. Now starting off with the outsole, you do see that Legend Blue on the bottom. It is translucent, so you do see the white Jordan Jumpman logo there, and of course that carbon fiber footprint that I mentioned here, and you can hear it, but it does have that checker pattern on it that we see on the paper, except here it's just got the Legend Blue in the background. And then black hits also there on the bottom. Now moving to the midsole, all white midsole. and that does wrap all the way around. You can see part of the outsole coming up there, but it's wrapping around to the rest of the midsole there. Now going to the upper, this does have a higher cut of patent leather on here, but I will say the quality on this shoe is actually pretty nice. I do like the leather on here. They go two different type of leathers on here, a patent leather and then more of just like a regular style leather, but it is pretty smooth. But that patent leather does wrap all the way around this portion of the shoe here. So to give you all that 360 view of it, it does go on top of the toe box, which you see here, and then just continuing wrapping around all the way around. And then going to the rest of the upper, like I mentioned, this is all leather. This paneling here is all leather, and that's on both sides of the shoe, that paneling. And then it does wrap around this back portion of the shoe as well. It is all that same leather material. And then going to the Jordan Jumpman logo, it is in that legend blue colorway as you see there. And then you do also have the 2-3 written on the back there. I had to make sure it wasn't a 3-5 because looking in the camera looks a little weird. But that is a 2-3 on the back in that white with the black ankle tab here as well. Now moving to the laces and the tongue, you do have a mesh tongue on here. A pretty nice quality material. It's the normal one that we get with Jordan 11s. And then you do have the Jordan tag in the legend blue on there as well. And then going to the laces, you have white rope laces with these. No additional laces with this Jordan 11. Really, any Jordan 11, you don't really get additional laces. But you do have the white rope laces, which I think fit well with this shoe. Now going to the inside of the shoe, black sock liner in here, which does wrap all the way around. And then on the back of the tongue, it does have a tongue tag. It says quality basketball products inspired by the greatest player ever. It took me a minute to read it, but that is on the back of the tongue there. It may be kind of hard to see. But overall, that is pretty much the shoe. Like I mentioned, it's a pretty simple Jordan 11 in the sense that there's not a ton of colors with this one. It's really like 3 colors on here. So it's not too much, but it's just a nice chill shoe that doesn't pop too much, but it looks really nice on feet. Now, moving to the insole, I do have here the black insole, Nike right there in white. You do have the tongue tag with these as well. Like I mentioned, this is size 11.5. And then on the back, it is all white. And then for the shoe tree, you do have the paper shoe tree with these. Now also going back to the 2014 pair, they had like the plastic insoles with these, which I also think always looks cool with the 11s. It would have been nice to have with these, but you don't wear the insole, so it's not, or the shoe tree, so it's not that big of a deal. But paper shoe tree with these. Now jumping to the other shoe real quick, just so y'all can get an idea of what both look like. No difference between the two, so it's just kind of depending on, well, nothing. There's like no difference between the two. So just give y'all a quick 360 on this one. But like I mentioned, it's all the same, so nothing too different with these. And then top view right there. So overall, that is the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. Let me know if you're able to cop these for the holidays. Like I mentioned, the 11s are always just super popular around the holidays. They make a ton of pairs of these, and they end up eventually selling out. And then if you're in the resale market, normally like a year or two later, they end up going up in price just because there's not a lot of pairs around. But just a great shoe to have if you're waiting throughout the year for a Jordan to cop. The 11s are always a good choice in my opinion. But like I mentioned, let me know in the comments if you were able to get a pair or if you passed on them. If you did get a pair, let me know what your thoughts are on them, if you're planning on wearing them or if you're going to be selling them. What are your plans and what are your thoughts on the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue? Of course, I believe we're supposed to be getting the Gamma 11s this December 2025, along with, I believe, 2 other Jordan 11s are supposed to drop, so there may be 3 total. But when that time comes later in the year, we'll get to it. As of now, we're going to focus on January releases along with the other reviews that I need to drop for y'all. But as always, I do appreciate y'all always stopping by, checking out the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Go subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, turn on notification bell so you can set today when I post new content. And as always, stay safe and stay blessed. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.